What's going on, guys? Bengal again here, coming back at you with another rebuilding the Jacksonville Jaguars after they spent the #1 overall pick in the draft on Travon Walker from Georgia. Would also have another first-round pick where they grabbed Devin Lloyd from Utah. They took Luke Fortner in the third, and for sure Chad Muma in the third as well, who I actually love as a player. So I know a lot of Jaguars fans were not super excited about Chad Muma, but I think the player is phenomenal. And yes, you're trying to figure out where all these guys are going to fit into the 3-4, but you got to remember when you're drafting, it's not just for this year, it's for years down the line as well. So eventually you're talking about a linebacking group of Josh Allen and Travon Walker as the edge rushers of the group, right? And then when you can slide Devin Lloyd down to the edge spot as well, as someone that can play a hybrid off-ball, on-ball style linebacker role, be a rush linebacker at times, maybe on like clear passing downs. And then you have Foyesade Oluokun and you have Chad Muma. All three of those guys, including Devin Lloyd, are very good coverage linebackers with good instincts. So you're going to be able to rotate guys in and out and really have a great package of linebackers depending on any different way you want to throw them out there. So I like the Jaguars draft. I love Chad Muma, and let's go ahead and get into this. Jaguars are in an interesting spot. They have a number of positions you can look to and say, okay, those are upgradable. I think Luke Fortner eventually does become the starter, so I'm going to start him right away, the rookie out of Kentucky. Juwan Taylor's upgradable. Cam Robinson's better than a 74 overall. He hasn't always been, but he's been better of late for sure, and is going to be back with the Jags long-term after being franchise tagged twice, I want to say. Yeah, 3 years, $54 million. Also, I forgot how much you guys like my face cam in the top left, so you can see the rest of the screen going on. So, we'll talk about the rest of the team. Marvin Jones still here. He's a solid veteran. Christian Kirk is okay. They're paying him a ton, but it's kind of like fake money is the only way I can describe it. It's like 3 years, 70-ish mil, but it's either void years or set up in a way where they have an out like very, very soon. So he's not going to see all of that money more than likely, although he may. Okay, so it's 4 years, $72 million. I knew it was not 3 years. 4 years, 72, and that's an average salary of $18 million. However, they have an out after 2023 where they only take on $10 million dead cap, which is really not a ton, and they would save a lot of money by doing that. And then like, this really might only work out to be a 2-year deal, still worth a significant amount of money in that span, as the cap hit will jump from 7.5 to 21.5 mil in 2023. But I don't see a way he's still in the Jags in 2024. He's not a top receiver, and he's being paid like a top receiver. He's probably going to be gone after 2 years, more than likely. But we'll have to see. We don't know what's going on with that. Zay Jones is here. Still waiting for Laviska Shenault to kind of take that step. But you do have Travis Etienne and James Robinson. Good 1-2 punch in the backfield. Trevor Lawrence, I assume, will take a big step in 2022. He's a really, really good player and did not have a lot of help last year. And for a rookie QB, that's a recipe for disaster. Signed Brandon Sheriff. Got Evan Ingram as well in free agency. He's kind of whatever. And I'm a Giants fan. I know pretty well. But going on to the defense side of the ball, I am going to be giving out some dev traits for the rookies. Travon Walker is going to get superstar. I've also given him a 77 overall, which I think some people are going to think is high if you have not actually watched Travon Walker play and you've only heard about him. He is one of the best run defenders in the entire draft. He is very, very good as a run defender. He's also a freak athlete. And that's not even talking about just the length overall, the crazy arm length, the big height. He is so fast and so agile. You don't get a guy that's 6'5", 270 that can move the way he can, either back in coverage, as we've seen at Georgia, and he even slides inside at times as well at Georgia. But he's so fluid and athletic out in space that when I like bump up his change of direction where I think it should be in agility and things like that, his overall just kind of jumps up a bunch. So even though still raw as a pass rusher, 77 power moves, 71 finesse moves I've given him, he is a good run defender already, and he is a great, great, great athlete. If we can develop the technical side of his ability, we're going to be golden here. And I think that very well could happen in real life. If you've seen the way he flashes at times on tape, God, man, you can see why he would be taken number 1 overall, because the upside is immense. And I think at the very least, you're going to get a good overall player because he defends the run so well, even if he's never going to be an elite pass rusher, which he might be. We'll have to see on that. Something you also have to remember about Travon Walker is that he's fairly new to just being a full-time starter. He's played, I believe, less than 1,000 defensive snaps at Georgia and has continued to get better. Sky really is the limit for him, and I know that was super controversial to take him at number 1 overall. If I were the Jags, I probably would have taken Kayvon Thibodeau or Evan Neal, who my Giants got, even Aiden Hutchinson. But Walker has incredible upside. I don't think it's crazy that they took him at number 1. And then Devin Lloyd, if you want to call him the best linebacker in the draft, which he's right up there in that conversation, even with Chad Muma as well. Chad Muma is so talented. I really will keep saying that. You could give Devin Lloyd superstar dev as well. I think I'm going to just give both of them star, though. Also, they got Folo Fatakasi as well. I kind of forgot about that, but that's a really big-time pickup for them. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I thought about moving Chad Muma to outside linebacker, and then when we have Travon Walker and Josh Allen be rush end, somebody's still got to play off ball in some formations, although sub linebacker is usually going to take care of that. I was thinking that maybe instead we just move to a 4-3 where everyone's just more naturally suited, and we can have, this is so perfect. It'd be Foye Oluokun at weak side linebacker, Devin Lloyd at strong side linebacker, Chad Muma playing the mic. It's kind of a perfect fit, and it's so perfect that I'm going to make it happen. Travon Walker's going to move down to right end, Josh Allen to left end, and then Fatakasi and Hamilton are going to be the starting defensive tackles. It just makes way too much sense in Madden. In real life, I can see the vision. I can see what they're going for, and I think that works when you can rotate guys in and out and really get creative. Over a season of simulating in Madden, we are not going to be able to do that. It's just put guys in the position, let them go to work. So we're going to move to a 4-3, and I think it's really going to benefit the team overall. So the defense is set up in the way that I want, and the reason Devin Lloyd is hidden right now is because we moved his position, whereas Chad Moom is still where I set it up, so it's going to show his star. That's why Travon Walker has it as well. And what can I say? I wanted Chad Muma as the mic, but these guys are all scheme fits within their current position, so I just made it this. We're going to start Andre Sisco. We're going to start Rayshon Jenkins. We got Shaquille Griffin, Darius Williams, who's a new addition to the defense as well, and then Tyson Campbell. It's a decent cornerback trio, and I like the team. I really do. I think we're going to be pretty good. Josh Allen and Travon Walker as rush ends. Folo Fatakasi and Devon Hamilton as rush D tackles. Roy Robertson Harris is actually a player I like quite a bit as a rotational rotational rusher on the defensive line. Sometimes it will be on the edge, but oftentimes up the middle. And then sub linebacker, I think is how I want it. Eventually, Chad Moom is going to take over for Oluokun, I would bet. But maybe not. We'll have to see. But I'm setting it up how I want. I think this is it. And we will go ahead and simulate to the midseason mark, see how this team's doing. 3-3 at the midseason mark. That's really not too bad. Competing for the AFC South. And we're going to go ahead and load in the 2023 draft class, which I think is 2023 real. Yeah, looks about right. Who are the players with expiring contracts here? Nobody important, really. I think people are going to be up in arms over letting Andrew Wingard go. Legend. But yeah, he can't be on the team anymore. Not my team, anyway. Although, unfortunately, we would not make the playoffs going 8-9. I think we did show a lot of promise. And I'm fairly happy with the way Season 1 went. I think anytime you overperform expectations, you got to be pretty pleased with that. And anytime your second-year quarterback throws for nearly 5,000 yards, you got to be pretty happy about that too. 34 touchdowns, 10 picks. James Robinson was not great, nor was Travis Etienne. But we're a passing team now. That's where we live. Christian Kirk had a phenomenal year. He might be on Superstar Dev Watch. Marvin Jones, also a tremendous season for the veteran, nearly 1,200 yards. Although he's not a part of the long-term future. Might try to trade him in the offseason. Evan Ingram had a good year. Zay Jones had a really good year as well for being the third receiver and fourth option on this team. And then Foye Oluokun and Chad Muma racked up tackles. But where's Devin Lloyd? He had a reasonable amount, but nothing crazy. 16 tackles for loss for Travon Walker, 15 for Josh Allen, who also had 17 sacks, which led the team. 10 for Travon Walker, great rookie year. And then a lot of interceptions for the whole team, I should say. Wow, Titans and the Falcons played it in the Super Bowl. That's interesting. Christian McCaffrey is your MVP. Ryan Tannehill wins Super Bowl MVP. Chandler Jones, Defensive Player of the Year with his new team, the Raiders. And then Desmond Ridder won Offensive Rookie of the Year with the Super Bowl losing Falcons. Wild stuff. Micah Parsons won Defensive Rookie of the Year from the previous draft class. Of course, those merge, as you guys might know, if you've watched any of these offseason rebuilds thus far. Travon Walker with an upgrade. Still superstar development, but we want to really upgrade that pass rush element to his game. He's up to 84 power moves, to be fair. Let's do run stopper. Get that into 80 plus range. Thought that was probably the best move. And we get finesse moves, which I wanted to get upgraded a little bit as well, as that's pretty low at just 73, but I like that. And then Trevor Lawrence. Let's do improviser. Usually we'll avoid signing free agents in this first year, at least I have thus far. And Christian Kirk and Marvin Jones both have superstar dev. Marvin Jones I'm going to trade. But Odell on a 2-year contract could be pretty good for us. Also, we'll need a kicker and maybe a punter as well. Do have Logan Cook. All right, so we're going to go with probably Young Wei Koo. And I'll definitely consider giving Odell a contract. I'm giving Odell Christian Kirk type money. It's actually a really big contract for 2 years. It's like 18 mil annually, which is actually what Christian Kirk is getting. Maybe even giving Odell a little bit more. I don't think he's going to accept, but he might, and I only really want him for 2 years anyway. Yeah, and Odell declined, which was expected, and I'm fine with. Now, the only real troubling thing is Young Wei Koo going to sign? I think so. And we got Young Wei Koo. 5th-year options, though. Josh Allen absolutely picking that up. No question about it. NFL draft time, I'll tell you, as the new GM of the Jags here, I'm happy we're not picking number 1 overall. Jags are getting pretty used to doing that. But the Texans are at 1. The Giants have 2 top picks because, of course, you have the 2022 and 2023 picks bleeding over, so they have 1 from the Bears. So I guess we probably have 2 first-rounders as well. No, we don't. Did the Jags trade back up for Devin Lloyd? Yeah, I guess they did. All right, so we're fine. Listen, these can't be perfect, but I set it up the best that I can. As here we are at number 14. And let's go ahead and take a pick. Now, we have to decide what we're looking for, and I think with Peter Skoronski on the board, that's got to be the guy for me. Now, I could consider a receiver as well. I like Quentin Johnson out of TCU. Big-bodied receiver. Put up some really good numbers in a few games last season. But Marvin Jones is not the guy. He's just too old at this point. 32. I'm going to try and move him. But offensive line is pretty important too, so I might lean towards taking the offensive lineman. Let's go Skoronski. Peter Skoronski, welcome to the Jacksonville Jaguars. We do get the hidden dev, thankfully. Skoronski has guard flexibility as well, so I'm not sure if I want to play him at tackle or guard, but we'll figure it out. And I might trade back into the first, by the way, as well. With Quentin Johnson on the board, I might make a move up right now. Johnston is pretty talented, which now I'm seeing that this is a problem. If the draft class creator's watching this video, which you might be, it is Quentin Johnston with a T in there, Johnston. We know Washington football team could use a veteran receiver like Marvin Jones, yet they have absolutely no interest in him. It's kind of annoying. Does anybody? He's a superstar dev receiver. I get that he's older. Wow. Nobody has any interest. Okay, making a big-time trade here involving Zay Jones, actually, because no one wanted Marvin Jones. So we're moving Zay. I'm moving a first-rounder next year. It's projected to be number 4 overall. I think we're going to be better than that. And I'm trading a second next year as well, projected to be number 36 overall. We're getting number 15 and a first-rounder next year from Washington. And I think that's good value for us. We're just betting on ourselves and betting against Washington. And I think that's probably a good decision overall, as I expect that we're going to take a jump And I don't really care what Washington does because I think we're going to be better than they are. And I'm taking Quentin Johnston here, who has F catching traffic. That's gotta be wrong. I'm taking him. 91 speed, 95 acceleration. Does have hidden dev. And we'll have to see. Second round now. I wanted to hold on to the second round pick. But now the question becomes, what do we take here? I mean, a lot of really good players on the board. I wonder how many of these guys will be available in real life. I'm thinking potentially O-line, or maybe even a safety. Jalen Catalon is here. Don't really know how good he is in this draft class at all, especially with that round 2-3 projection. But I do like the player, so let's give him a shot. Potential starting safety, 5'10", 200 with 90 speed, hidden dev. I like the look. KJ Jefferson goes in the third round. Zach Pickens is here. We can take Zach Pickens, former 5-star recruit to South Carolina, but has not really lived up to that so far. I love Felix Onyedike-Uzomah. It's also not spelled correctly. I don't know if that's on purpose or not. Sometimes it doesn't let you do certain things in the creator, but let's take Zach Pickens. Hopefully we can develop him a little bit. At worst, he's a developmental backup defensive tackle, which I'm totally fine with. And we'll let the CPU handle the rest. Peter Skronsky's a 74, and so is Quentin Johnston. I think those are pretty good overalls for them. Don't know what I'm going to do with Skronsky yet. And then Quentin Johnston, I am going to change his name to Johnston. And then I'll probably start him. Jalen Catalon's a 71. Still could start him. Now, Luke Matthews actually has star dev. I'm assuming he doesn't have superstar. I guess he could, but I'm going to say star dev and is a 70 overall. I'm going to start him over Luke Fortner because it'd be foolish not to. And Peter Skronsky also going to get the start at right tackle. So this is going to be controversial potentially, but Marvin Jones Jr. is going to be the fourth receiver. He's just not part of the future. He's 32. I can't really do much with that, but he is good now. I want him to play, but he's not going to play as receiver 4. But I want to develop LaVisca. I want to develop Quentin Johnston. Marvin Jones just isn't a part of the future, so he will be a rotational guy at best. And then defensively, I should start Jalen Catalon for sure. So let's do it. And I'm going to move Jalen Catalon to free safety. I'm going to play him over Rayshon Jenkins. And once again, it is an issue of just Rayshon Jenkins being older. He's at 28 years old, the age of regression. So there's no point in starting him anymore. That's the reality. He's not good enough to ever get any better than this. And Devin Lloyd does have superstar dev now, by the way. So I didn't even have to give it to him. He just earned it, which is pretty cool. And we'll go ahead and simulate to the midseason mark. You guys know what the team looks like. It's just about developing these guys. I have pieces in place that I'm really, really happy with. And yeah, we might be one big signing or big trade away from really competing once these guys start to develop, because we have a lot of pieces on defense and a few on offense that, I mean, are going to be a big part of this team. It's just maybe we get a superstar big-time receiver or, a fill-in offensive lineman that's better than what we have right now. And then on defense, maybe a lockdown corner or a big-time safety or defensive tackle, and that's it. I like the linebackers. I like the edge rushers. I like the team. Wow, this season's not going well. I didn't exactly take the jump up I expected, although Washington's not doing well either, and that's whose pick we have, and they have our pick. Probably pretty excited with how we're playing. But this could turn around in the second half for sure. I think this just might be one of those things where, I mean, I guess we're 28th in scoring and then 31st in points allowed. Why would that be, though? That's kind of confusing. What's going on here? I mean, it's the CPU classically just changing my team. Why? Injury is not on. Why are guys getting injured? It's the practice injury where these guys go down. It ruins the rebuild. Yes, I get injuries happen in real life. It's different when you can manage that on a week-to-week basis, but when we do these simulations across the season, can't do that. So injuries are off. So the fact that Jalen Catalon is injured is annoying. I really can't figure out why this team is doing so badly. I guess it's maybe just another year away. It's kind of what it is, I guess. Do have some free agents to deal with, and certainly going to want to bring back some of these guys. Luke Fortner should be on a 4-year deal, so I got to change that. But Juwan Taylor, no. Cam Robinson, yes. James Robinson, also yes. James Robinson's back. And then Cam Robinson, he should also be on a multi-year deal. So I guess I can just offer him what he got. And he is back. Just got to hope we have a big-time second half. We're probably not going to make the playoffs. We would have to win out, or just about. I guess it is possible, but it's unlikely. 6-11, did not make the playoffs. I'm kind of surprised we were so bad. Offense ended up being about middle of the pack, but the defense is really not playing well. And I have to diagnose what the biggest problem is on defense, because I like a lot of the pieces that we have. We're just not getting the results at all. So that's a pretty big issue. I think it might start in the back end. Our secondary is just not great. Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Dak Prescott, Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow wins MVP. But Tom Brady snags Offensive Player of the Year over him. Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year, who might end up retiring. That would be crazy. And then your Rookies of the Year are Bryce Young with the Texans and Miles Murphy with the Chargers, who won the Super Bowl. Or who played in the Super Bowl. They lost. That's right. So don't want Juwan Taylor. Luke Fortner, I forgot to do that. I'll just give him a 4-year contract. It's not expensive anyway. So backup offensive lineman. He's not starting at this point, which I am surprised by. I really expected him to be the starter. We drafted that center, the CPU did. So kind of have to go in that direction. I think it was better for the team anyway. But we'll get good depth out of him. Eventually, Lamar Jackson will be signed in an offseason rebuild that I do. But not this one. We have Trevor Lawrence. However, Shaquille Griffin, superstar depth. I'm signing Denzel Ward. He's getting a big-time contract. He will be a Jacksonville Jaguar in this video, 100%. Josh Allen also has superstar X Factor now. Love that. Catalan has star dev, no surprise. I think I'm going to offer Jonathan Abram. Actually, you know what? Let's do Jordan Poyer. Yeah, 2 years is totally fine. And I'll probably try and get a better safety. But at worst, he's just a good backup. Or he probably won't have any trade value. But at worst, he's a good backup. And he's only under contract for 2 years. Denzel Ward rejected. Oh my God. I gave him so much money. We got Jordan Poyer. I said that Denzel Ward would 100% be a Jaguar in this video. And now, geez. Do I trade for him? That's unrealistic. But how did he not accept? Goes to the Steelers. That's so frustrating. I mean, that is so frustrating. Trying to bring Gardner Minshew back. Denzel Ward, I wish I could see how close we were, but that's crazy he didn't accept. NFL draft time. I'm still so frustrated with not getting Denzel Ward. We could make a move and trade this pick. Maybe there's a really good corner on the board that we might want to move up for. But it doesn't appear that there is. I'm trading this pick for an established corner if I can. Boom! Getting AJ Terrell. Falcons aren't in a position to be competitive. We're trading them a first-round pick, and we're taking AJ Terrell off their hands. That I did not expect to go through first time, but I am not complaining. Number 15 for a corner of his caliber. We've seen trades like that before, but usually it's like 2 first-round picks for Jalen Ramsey. A little bit different. Jalen Ramsey was like the best corner in the league when that happened, whereas I like AJ Terrell. He's really, really good. He's not the best corner in the league, though. Not at this point. How many of you guys are overpaying every day, week, month, year for coffee? You're drinking it every day. Well, that's where today's sponsor, Trade Coffee, comes in. They're going to help you save more and be more efficient, more productive, and that's with the subscription-based coffee. Click the link in the description. It's drinktrade.com/Bengal, and all you have to do is claim your offer. You're going to take a very simple quiz full of answers you're going to know all about if you drink coffee on a regular basis. And it's very simple. Even if you don't know what you're doing at all, just say how you make your coffee, and then boom, you can say if you're really new to this or if you're already a coffee expert. The most recent I'm trying is from Alma Coffee. It's pretty cool. It tells you what region it's from too, which in this case is Honduras. It gives a ton of cool info. Dark roast, it'll give you the flavors, which in this case is a creamy dark chocolate, molasses, and toasted pecans. Not pecans for me, pecans. Very unique, very interesting flavor, and there's a lot more where this comes from. What Trade Coffee does is they connect you guys to the freshest and best tasting coffee from independent businesses, independent roasters from big cities and small towns alike. And their coffee team taste tests thousands of different coffees to keep 450 different kinds live at any given time that you can choose from. And their expert team of coffee taste testers will keep 450 different kinds live, so their human-powered algorithm will find the best one for you. And in fact, they're so confident that they're gonna match you to the correct coffee the first time that if they don't, they'll take your feedback and an actual coffee expert will work with you to send a brand new bag for free. And the best part is right now, Trade is offering new subscribers a total of $30 off your first order plus free shipping when you go to drinktrade.com/Bengal or click the link in the description below. And that's more than 40 cups of coffee for free over a month. So get started by taking their quiz at drinktrade.com/Bengal and let Trade find you a coffee you'll love. That's drinktrade.com/Bengal for $30 off. And thank you to Trade for sponsoring the video. I also don't really like anyone available, which means we're trading down. How about another player we could see traded in real life? It's Jessie Bates. The Bengals are not going to be keeping Jessie Bates long term. I think that's fairly obvious. I think that he's really, really, really good. I think he's going to get a contract somewhere in the range of 5 years, 75 mil. It's going to be a pretty big contract. He's one of the best safeties in the league. He's very young, and he said already he's not going to play under the franchise tag. So the Bengals are in a really tough spot with that. That's why they drafted Dax Hill. That's your Jessie Bates replacement. And I think it is a really good Jessie Bates replacement, but he's not Jessie Bates. When he'll get traded, I'm not sure. But I think eventually he does get moved if the Bengals don't extend him, and it doesn't seem like they're going to extend him. So we're trading a third this year, a first and a second next year. In real life, it's going to take a lot less than that to get him, I would say. However, we don't have the leverage that we would in real life in the game. We actually didn't have that bad of a draft. 70 overall D tackle and a 71 overall corner. Like fairly deep into the draft. That is pretty good depth. And we'll see where the rest of the NFL was. 78 overall left tackle goes number 1 overall. I think that's actually what should happen more often in Sim. And wow, back into the second round, the Colts get a really, really talented center. I usually look at centers in the second round. But with that third round pick, obviously, when I pulled up center, there was nothing there because this guy was off the board. But not that amazing of a draft class. Not horrible, obviously, but not great. Still maybe looking for an elite receiver. Quentin Johnston wasn't as great as I wanted him to be in year 1, but still has potential. We're playing him over LaVisca. I'm going to try and develop him. But that's our 3 receivers. Offensive line's fairly good. And then defensively, we made some moves to really, really better this team. Jessie Bates, Jordan Poyer, Devin Lloyd has superstar X Factor now. Okay. AJ Terrell. This is a team that really should not be messing around with anybody. Josh Allen, superstar X Factor as well. I am in. So we made some big time moves, obviously. Trading for AJ Terrell and Jessie Bates, the focus was on the secondary, and I think we addressed that in this offseason. We're good to go, man. This is a team that should be really successful. It's just a question of whether they live up to the potential or not. And historically, they have not. Hopefully, that's not the case this season. Let's go to the midseason and hope for a winning record. Let's be above 500, please. All right, above 500. That's where we wanted to be. 86 overall team. We are 4-2 in the South. The Titans are winning the division at 5-2, but it's very close overall. I really think it's anybody's division right now, including ours. And of course, the problem with trading for Jessie Bates and AJ Terrell is that they're due contract extensions at this point. And a lot of our team is like that. So we better have like 140 million to spend. Otherwise, and we have 153. Otherwise, we were not going to be able to get this done. But Jessie Bates is going to get a monster deal, and I think he's worth it. AJ Terrell wants more money. Jessie Bates signed back, though. We're going to give 102 million to Josh Allen, but he's probably worth it as well. Do I really have to give Oluokun 9 mil a year? I don't really want to do that, but we have the money. I shouldn't really worry about it. He wants even more. I don't know about that. Evan Ingram, I'm comfortable paying. He's just a good Madden tight end. He wants more money, too. Okay, so I just did a press conference. I'm in week 14, maybe, and Trevor Lawrence has a breakout one where if he throws for 400 yards or 4 touchdowns, I want to say, I assume he would get superstar X Factor. So I really would like that to happen. I think it's definitely possible with the way he's throwing the football, and getting 3+ sacks would also be good for our team. We are 9-4. right now. We're having a good second half so far. The Steelers are going to be tough. But the reason I stopped it here as opposed to the playoffs is because I can actually renegotiate with these guys, and I think it's going to be really important to do so. Don't really want Kate Levon Chase on. Don't want Kyle Allen. I don't know why he's here, but a lot of the guys in front of him I do want back, especially AJ Terrell. He wanted a bigger bonus. Take all the bonus. Boom, you're back. I definitely want Devon Hamilton back, and I definitely want Ben Barch back at left guard. Ben Barch actually was not always an offensive lineman. I want to say he was a tight end at St. John's and then ended up moving to tackle. It was like awesome that he even got drafted. He was a combine invite. I remember he drank this disgusting shake to gain weight. Might not be a bad idea though. All right, I'm giving Aluakun a little bit more money, and he accepts now. Evan Ingram is back as well. The only one I'm a little bit on the fence about is Folo Fatukasi. He's 28. He's not amazing. And Devon Hamilton can be my D-tackle too, just because he's 26. I mean, that's really it. Whereas I'm not sure if Fatukasi's the guy. Might try to get a really big-time pass-rushing D-tackle. So I'm considering that. But this is a big week because once we simulate here, we'll see if Trevor Lawrence gets an early upgrade to Superstar X Factor, which would be awesome. We beat them 24-21. I would be shocked based off that score if we threw for 400 yards. Impossible for 4 touchdowns. Got 1,000 XP for all players. I guess we didn't meet our goal, but we still got the win. And then I'm 90% sure Trevor Lawrence is not going to go up to Superstar X Factor. But we'll see. Them just asking any thoughts on the play we got out of him, I don't think bodes well. Yeah, no dev upgrade. That's sad. 11-6, made it into the wild card, but very good season overall. So I'm really excited that we're finally living up to our potential. It, made us make some really big moves after not doing well last season, but I think those have helped us get to where we are now. Trevor Lawrence was pretty good. James Robinson improving, as is Travis Etienne. Receiving, Jaden Reed. Why are you playing? CPU has him in the slot, surely, but that's not... I mean, he had a great year, but that can't be the guy. He's going to go up to star dev, but he's not very good overall. Okay, that's got to change. But other than that, we're fine. And defensively, I mean, same numbers we've pretty much been seeing, but Devin Lloyd swaps with Chad Muma, who didn't really seem to play a whole lot. And then tackles for loss, 22 for Travon Walker, 18 for Fatukasi, great year for him, but 20 sacks for Josh Allen led the way with only 7 tackles for loss, 15.5 sacks for Travon Walker. He might go up to Superstar X Factor. He's got 97 power moves right now. Goodness. See if we can beat the Browns. We are better on paper, but games are not won on paper. They're won on the computer. It's a CPU simulation. And we do actually beat the Browns by 1, 35-34. What a game, and we've made it into the divisional. If we can beat the Pats, they're quite good as well. Could be close. And we do, 23-17. But the Chiefs are very talented. 14-3, had a very good year, and of course have arguably the best quarterback in football in Patrick Mahomes. I think the biggest thing is just developing Trevor Lawrence. When Trevor Lawrence goes into the 90s, he's going to end up being very, very good in sim. Right now, he's only an 86 overall. He's getting better, but isn't all the way there yet. Once he starts to take that next step, we're going to be amazing. And next year could be the final year, but we're trying to make the Super Bowl and win it this season. And we're not that far off. 1 game away from a Super Bowl appearance. Here we go. Both 87 overalls. The Chiefs have the edge on offense. I think we have the edge on defense. But, I mean, look at that group. 3 Superstar X Factor players, including Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones. It's a great group of players. Here we go. This would be a big win. Kansas City on the board first with a field goal and then a touchdown. Make it 10-0. But now a touchdown by us makes it 17-7 as Kansas City scores again. Very, very quick. Got to react quickly with the commentary. We're up by 10, or down by 10. Now it's 31-14, and the Chiefs are just kind of murdering us at this point. It's 34-14. It's probably too little too late right now. It's 3rd and 2. Game is on the line, and we have Jesse Bates, like Jabril Peppers is a rookie, playing 30 yards off the line of scrimmage. And we're actually going to make the stop. Final timeout. In theory, we're not out of this yet, but doesn't look good. And they're going to go for this. They're trying to end the game right now. We've seen Kansas City do this before. I'm committing to the run here. It is a run. Oluokun fills that gap, makes a tackle, and we get the football at the 40. We'll need a quick touchdown and onside kick, but that is possible. Like, that isn't that crazy. I mean, it kind of is, but we're going deep with Lawrence. That's a long release. Jesus. You know, it's not always great because sometimes you do feel like you're just wasting your time delaying the inevitable, because what are the odds of actually getting an onside kick? But as I said, you know, it is possible. Beautiful touch pass to Evan Ingram, who breaks a tackle, actually. We're going to have the ball on the 1 yard line. Clock's ticking, though. Got to snap it. I can't even choose a play. Oh, it's so bad sometimes. 20 seconds. I mean, time pretty much irrelevant at this point. We just gotta score. And we do. Ugly, but we got the touchdown. All right, it's going to take it onside. No idea how to get these. I don't know if there's a method. I've never really gotten one, I don't think. And that's not going to change now. Chiefs are going to win the game. They're headed to the Super Bowl. Well-deserved. They're just the better team right now. But we'll head into the final season with a little bit of momentum, in my opinion. A couple of playoff wins is always really, really nice. And the team's really not even at full strength yet. So if we have a better game from Trevor Lawrence, where he has an over 50% completion rate, maybe we can move the ball a little bit better, a little bit more consistently. And I think with him taking a jump, as I project him to, in this final season, we could be looking at a Super Bowl caliber team. 49ers beat the Chiefs in Super Bowl 58. Eric Armstead's your MVP. Alvin Kamara wins MVP of the regular season. And also Offensive Player of the Year. DeMarcus Lawrence, Defensive Player of the Year. And the Giants Rookie of the Year is a running back named Brett Rose. All right, who do we need to bring back? We still have money. It's Folo Fatukasi. Is he regressing? I know he's not really getting better. I don't know about that. Chenault, I think we can do better. He's not expensive, but I don't know if I want to re-sign him. I think I'm going to let all of them walk. LaVisca we might end up bringing back in free agency for a little bit more expensive, but I'd rather have the wiggle room right now and see what's there. I want a big-time receiver one. I want a really good D-tackle. A couple really good tackles available. We could upgrade over Cam Robinson, but don't think we're going to do that. Ooh, Darren Waller's here. Travon Walker up to Superstar X Factor. Love to see that. I'm debating on signing Sebastian Joseph Day. It's kind of where I am right now. And Oluokun has Superstar Dev. Did he have that? I don't think so. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to offer Sebastian Joseph Day a contract. And if he signs, that's a little bit too much money. If he signs, great. We'll just make him defensive tackle too. Because I'm going to go out and I'm going to get a better defensive tackle. Like a real, true superstar. Darren Waller rejects. I went after him just because I thought he was a real game changer. But guys just don't want money, I guess. So have fun. We did get Sebastian Joseph Day, though. What's Aaron Donald up to? That's what I'm curious about. He's 33. Dude, but for a year with Aaron Donald, I mean, could I get him for a third because he's so old? Nope. Could I get him for a future first? I can. Worth it to me. That pick's not going to matter. We have Aaron Donald now. If Aaron Donald is the missing piece to winning a Super Bowl, he's worth whatever we had to move to get him. It's just about getting a receiver one right now. I don't know how we're going to do that. We've made a lot of big trades so far, but this is the final year. If we're going to go, balls out, we might as well go all out, right? Balls out, balls to the wall. Should we try and get a true wide receiver one? We could. What would I have to trade to get one, though, is the question. Is anything going to be here at the back end of the third? No. I don't. I've gotten really lucky before, but what are the odds of that happening? It's pretty low. Do I want a receiver that ran 4.5? No. I don't like any of the receivers. CPU can figure it out. Let's see what we missed out on in the whole draft, that is. 80 overall. 2 of them. Al Perkins from Ohio State, normal dev, of course. 3 80s. Holy. Daryl Parker, a corner. Looks all right. And then Jay Jones is safety out of Notre Dame. This one's actually fast. I didn't know Notre Dame safeties could be fast. Lions took a receiver named Calvin at number 3. One pick behind where they took Calvin Johnson, number 2 overall out of Georgia Tech in 2007. This one's not Calvin, but he looks pretty good. Well, he is Calvin, but he's not Calvin Johnson. He actually looks pretty sweet. Do I use this first round pick to try and gain a stud receiver? Okay, that's the trade. This one's been a crazy one. I've made a lot of unrealistic moves, or what would be called unrealistic, despite seeing crazy stuff in real life, especially this offseason. But I'm trading a first round pick next year, second this year, Devon Hamilton for Davante Adams. He is old at this point, but we don't need him for more than just this season. So we're going to add Davante Adams. We've made so many crazy moves, and this one will be probably the last one that we make, I would say. He's a beast. Davante Adams is such a stud. Offense is great. Defense is great. It's time for these guys to show up, show out, and dominate. This is what we wanted to see. 7-0 at the midseason mark. That's pretty good. What receiver's saying it's boring not seeing the ball? Quentin Johnson? Well, yeah, that makes sense. Also, what is next man up? No one's injured. No, Davante Adams was not seen limping around the facility. That's a lie. All right. I wish I hadn't opened that because now Davante Adams is not going to play. We're going to the playoffs anyway. It doesn't matter. Did not go perfect. 14-3. But that's still a pretty good season. And wow, Trevor Lawrence was electric. Look at these numbers. Over 5,000 yards comfortably. 48 touchdowns to only 7 interceptions. That's an MVP season. That's an amazing season. James Robinson was good. Travis Etienne played his role. And then receiving, we had 4 different players on the team with 1,100 receiving yards or more. So just start with 3 receivers, but then add in Evan Ingram because he had 1,100 yards on the nose. Christian Kirk had 7 touchdowns. Davante Adams had 18. 11 for Quentin Johnson. He's like, wah, give me the ball. It's like you had 1,160 yards and 11 touchdowns. Quit whining. Evan Ingram was spectacular. If he had one more catch and one more touchdown, he would have 100, over 1,000, and double-digit TDs, like all 10s in some capacity. I hope that makes sense. You guys get it, probably, but that didn't come out right. Devin Lloyd with 115 tackles, 9 of which were for loss. And look at the TFLs. Aaron Donald, 20. 15 for Walker, 12 for Josh Allen, and look at sacks. 26.5 for Travon Walker. 23 for Josh Allen. 15.5 for Aaron Donald. This defensive line brought back Jacksonville. Oh my goodness. Interceptions, we had a few. Not too many, but our defensive line didn't give them a chance. Too busy bringing down the quarterback before he could throw the ball. First offense in terms of yards. I bet we're real at the top in terms of defense too. Second. We have big time up. Oh, Jesse Bates is going to join the 99 club. Boom. If we lose in the first round of the playoffs, I'm going to be so sad. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But it is the Raiders. We're a 91 overall. 91 offense, 93 defense somehow adds up to 91, I guess. And we're not going to jump in because it's the divisional. But we got to be able to win this game. I know it's just the divisional, but we only win by a touchdown. And the AFC Conference Championship will be against the Tennessee Titans, division rival. They snuck into the playoffs, and hopefully we're able to beat them. Conference Championship, it's what we need to finally win. Lost last season. We've got a big-time advantage here. Yeah, they've got 3 superstar X-Factor players. Jeffrey Simmons, Beast, Derrick Henry, Monster. Caleb Farley developing pretty nicely, it seems. Kind of a low-scoring game so far, but that's going to change as we go into the second half. 17-6 Jags. Oh, we needed to score there. That's going to win the game, hopefully. 24-6. Keep them out of the end zone. Boom. 24-6. Just a thrashing of the Tennessee Titans. Maybe not even that is the right word, but just dominating. We were suffocating. Only allowed 6 points. Yeah, we didn't really run up the scoreboard too much, 24 points, but overall a good game. And Jalen Hurts and the Tennessee Titans, not good enough to get it done. And it's the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Now, we might get a dev trade upgrade for 1 or 2 of our players. I think for sure Trevor Lawrence is going to get it because he's going to win MVP for sure. He does have Superstar X Factor now. Pretty cool. So he had the highest passer rating, won quarterback of the year, won offensive player of the year, won MVP, plus 30,000 XP, and it couldn't have come at a better time right before we played the Super Bowl. We also got Travon Walker to 87 overall speed rusher, which means we can finally equip edge threat, which is my go-to. I think it's really, really good. Quentin Johnston up to superstar dev as our third receiver. Very cool. But tight ends never get upgraded. Like Evan Ingram probably should go up to superstar. Not that it really matters at this point. And then defensively, I'm not noticing any changes. Just a good-looking team overall, and hopefully a Super Bowl winning team. Here we go. +5 overall. Let's get it done. Dallas on the board first, but we answer with a touchdown to take the lead. It's 7-3 Jaguars in the second quarter. Now 10-3 after a field goal, 17-3 after a touchdown. We've got all the momentum heading into the second half, up 17-6, but we got to keep Dallas out of the end zone. This lead is not nearly big enough, and Dallas is on the board. Just under 5 to play. We're hopping in on offense. Let's ice this game. Give me a good Travis Etienne run on 2nd and 10. Worst time to run, and that's why. Because if you don't get any yardage, it's 3rd and long. Hate that. But we have such an advantage with our receivers. We should be able to pick up this first down. And we're just going to check down. Hope Christian Kirk can get something after the catch. And he can. Big first down by Christian Kirk. Give us some blocks on the outside. We get one, I guess. Robinson, you got to be strong. Come on, man. He's not going to be able to outrun anybody. He's not having a good game at all. Trying to take time off the clock, though. We will keep it on the ground. Good cutback, James Robinson. That's the type of run we needed in that spot. Sets up 3rd and short, and on 3rd and 2, we don't want a field goal, by the way. If we're short, we're going to go for it. Never really want to go up by 6. You just incentivize them to go for the touchdown and beat you. Etienne, good burst, first down. That's going to take us to the 2-minute warning, and now it's just about taking Dallas's 3 timeouts away. Up the middle, Robinson, fight for it, please. They're going to give him a yard. Do they give him the first down? Should be a first down. It is. Game over. Why is he not blocked? I'd love to run up the score a little bit. Give me the touchdown. Okay, so the tight end just came out of nowhere to run into the running back. That's exactly where the run's supposed to go. The timing on that was not good. Last play of the game here. Here we go, James. Up the middle and stop short of the end zone. Doesn't matter. Goal accomplished. Super Bowl victory is ours. The Jacksonville Jaguars finally win a Super Bowl. I guess I say finally. It's like the Lions, who have been around forever, have some NFL championships, I guess, but Lions, Vikings haven't done it. The Lions haven't won a playoff game since 1991 or something close to that. And here the Jaguars are, who weren't even a team in 1991, now getting to hoist the Lombardi as Super Bowl champions. Gotta love it. Trevor Lawrence had 2 touchdowns. Defensively, 2 sacks for Travon Walker. He's dominating. This is what you wanted to see in this video, is Travon Walker dominate, and he did. 2 sacks. 1.5 for AD. Sebastian Joseph Day, same number. 1 for Josh Allen, half a sack for, those are Cowboys. Justin Madubuike made his way to the Cowboys. Pretty good player for the Baltimore Ravens, underrated. We'll end this with the season recap. Trevor Lawrence won MVP. Travon Walker won Defensive Player of the Year. And of course, Trevor Lawrence, Offensive Player of the Year and Super Bowl MVP. This is what you want to see if you're a Jags fan. Trevor Lawrence living up to his potential, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year. And Travon Walker absolutely dominating and winning Defensive Player of the Year. When you have back-to-back #1 overall picks, you need to be able to hit on them, and at least in video game land, the Jaguars did. Trevor Lawrence, unbelievable. Obviously had some help. I mean, we brought in some big-time players, but Travon Walker, man, what can you say? Just super fun player. Could end up being a beast in real life. I think he's, at minimum, going to be a good player. I don't really think he has big-time bust potential, but the same people that consider Jadeveon Clowney a bust, despite not being a bust at all, even though he didn't really live up to his full potential or expectations, I think that's fair. Definitely not even close to a bust. Travon Walker, I think, could be in that same realm, but has sky-high potential if he gets coached up and has a little bit more experience. So you saw him dominate in this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it if you're a Jacksonville fan from Duval. Didn't really stretch that out enough, but don't want to. See you in the next one. Take it easy.
See me high step to the end zone. My life like a game Nintendo. Playing with the best, let them know. Get off the track, the train's coming through. Yeah. Promise you get in my way, then you best believe I'ma just run over you. Yeah, yeah. I'ma turn taking it back to the house. Defensive joke, I'm laughing so loud. Speedbird's good.